46 years of PG Chimp adverts and we're still looking for an answer to that age-old question.
Dad, do you know the piano's on my foot?
You hum it, son. I'll play it.
The now legendary PG Tips Chimp adverts aired on TV between 1956 and 2002. The first ad was a simple depiction of chimps drinking tea around a table in a stately home, and was inspired by the famous Chimps tea parties that were held in London Zoo from 1926 to 1972, whereby chimps were dressed in human clothing and provided with a table of food and drink as a form of entertainment for the zoo visitors. Over the years, the ads went through various phases, with one-off and recurring characters voiced by famous actors of the times, including Stanley Baxter, Pat Coombs, Melvin Hayes, David Jason, Penelope Keith, Miriam Margolyes, Sue Pollard, Willie Rushton and Kenneth Williams. Initially, the animals were provided by Twycross Zoo in Leicestershire, England, and the funds raised from the chimps' involvement in the ad campaigns were used to set up and secure the future of Twycross's animal sanctuary. However, after serious concerns were raised regarding the long-term welfare of the chimps, Twycross cut off their deal with PG Tips, and the adverts disappeared from TV for about a year and a half. Faced with the drop in sales, PG Tips went ahead and sourced chimpanzee trainers from Europe and America, so they were able to continue making their adverts. When considering the question of animal welfare in the production of these adverts, there are a few things to consider. The animal trainers at the time did evidently love and care for the chimps, as witnessed in a 1996 documentary about the making of the commercials, and animal welfare organisations were also involved in monitoring for forms of abuse at the time. However, it wasn't until years later that the long-term issues started to become apparent. After spending the first 7 or 8 years of their lives interacting with their human trainers, the chimps, who were then too old to safely work with humans, reportedly found it difficult to adjust to life as normal chimps. They lacked the ability to interact with normal chimpanzee social groups, and the few chimps that were experimentally released into the wild sadly lost their lives as a result. The surviving chimps had to be kept in captive isolation for the rest of their lives, and they suffered with a variety of mental health and behavioural issues. The PG Chimp ads were a ubiquitous part of my childhood, teen and adult life, and as such hold a huge amount of nostalgic value for me. We loved those ads for their entertainment value. They were cute and funny and a massive part of our social culture for decades, spawning countless catchphrases and cultural references. In hindsight though, I feel a little bit uneasy watching them now. I don't feel guilty now for not knowing any better back then. I mean, the chimps looked happy, and we trusted that the people involved knew what they were doing. It's only knowing what I know now about the long-term health of the chimp actors that I have to view these adverts with fresh eyes, and it's a bittersweet feeling knowing that those happy-looking little chimps who brought us so much joy ended up being so badly damaged by their experiences. I reached out on social media for your thoughts and comments on the PG Chimp ads, and this is what some of you had to say. Stacey Draper on Twitter loved these adverts when she was a girl, particularly the ones featuring the 2 old lady characters Dolly and Ada, but she also understands why the ads were eventually removed. Over on Mastodon, iSaberman acknowledges that a lot of stuff on TV back then wouldn't get airtime now, and that it's probably due to the innocence of those times, and that while there are people who want those times back, we are generally educated enough these days to understand and accept the ethical issues. From the community section of my other YouTube channel, Julie Jackson thinks the adverts were absolutely brilliant and thinks it's a shame that nobody can have a laugh or see the funny side anymore. White Sapphire took the opportunity to share the classic piano on my foot line from the Mr. Shifter advert. Tony Stubbings remembers the ads vividly and still drinks PG Tips to this day. Mr. Dirkles shared a potentially traumatic story about monkeys being put onto his shoulder while visiting the beach in the 1970s. Rich Hughes thinks the adverts might have sent out the wrong message about PG Tips only being fit for consumption by monkeys. Herbert9241 wasn't particularly amused by the chimp adverts either as a kid or as an adult, and puts it down to a potentially deep-rooted awareness of the animal exploitation. Hagar6359 loved the adverts and thinks they were classic, and _Matthew chose to share his wit with us, explaining that the chimps must have been intelligent as they invested in property. I will admit it took me a full 5 weeks to realise that was a joke. Sorry about that, Matthew. I blame myself. So, what do you think? Were these ads harmless fun, or just an unfortunate example of mistakes made in the past that we've since learned from? And is it okay to enjoy these ads now with nostalgic eyes, or should they be consigned to history as an example of how not to treat animals? I'd love to hear from you in the comments, whatever your opinion on the subject. And if you'd like your thoughts featured in a future Retrospectives video, I'll be asking for your contributions on my various social media accounts whenever I'm working on a new video. Links in the description. We'll finish off now with a short collection of memorable PG Chimp adverts, but first I'd like to thank everyone who shared their memories, to thank you for liking and subscribing, and of course to thank you all for watching Retrospectives.
Get in the hang of it. Mind the banisters, son.
Oh, I can't hold it, Dad.
Don't worry, son. I shifted more pianos than you've had hot dinners.
Green, Mr. Shifter, like refreshment.
Oh, thank you most kindly, madam. One way of shifting it.
When a good cup of tea really counts, you're right to drink Brooke Bond PG Tips. It's the tea you can really taste.
Dad, do you know the piano's on my foot?
You hum it, son. I'll play it.
Comment ça va?
Avez-vous une Cuppa?
Ah oui, chérie, le premier thé anglais.
When a good cup of tea really counts, you're right to drink Brooke Bond PG Tips. It's the tea you can really taste.
J'aime votre PG Tip, monsieur.
Can you ride under me? Quick! Pass another spinal car! It's gonna go! Quick! Quick!
Hang on, lad, leave it to me.
You're too late, it's gone!
Well, put the kettle under it. I brought our favourite tea.
Some people will only settle for Brooke Bond PG Tips. It's the tea you can really taste.
Now, lad, what's needed is little application.
Right. Pass the monkey wrench.
You, my prisoner, Brooke Bond.
You wagging tongues don't frighten me.
Hussar! You will tell us honourable secret of PG Tips, Mr. Bond.
No, sorry.
They will miss you in London, Bond.
I've just got back from China.
Oh, Peking?
No, but I had a jolly good look.
Harry!
Oh, hello, Ada.
Hello, Dolly.
Oh, I've been on my feet all morning. Make us a cup of PG, love.
Your favourite.
Oh, me back's killing me ironing my Phil's golf shirts.
Still at it, is he?
Yeah, he likes to play around. Or two.
Here, Dolly, can you smell something burning?
Yeah, it's me. I've just scored a hole in one.
Oh, come on, lads, we should be in France by now. This channel tunnel life's just boring. I mean, we made it. Bonjour, madame.
What have you done to my lawn?
This ain't Blinkin Calais, this is Blinkin Catford. Yeah, what's your blinking French?
Have some more PG, boys.
Oh, I knew that hole would make a lovely pond. You might even get some frogs in here.
Oh,